Hello and welcome to the 5-Minute University on getting students to prepare for class. This presentation is brought to you by Adam Persky. Student preparation is an important part for achieving certain learning goals. Our goals as instructors are focused on having learners be able to apply, use, communicate, find, and think about information, not just memorize facts. This requires two things: faculty to model and develop these skills in students, and students to have some basic information because they need something to think about. Student preparation is important because without it, higher order learning is much harder to achieve. This means students need to come to class prepared with some basic level of understanding of the material. But we have all seen that getting students to prepare can be a challenge. So remember the acronym RAISE, as in raise the bar or raise your hand. R stands for reason. If you're going to ask students to prepare for class, you need to have a good reason. For example, if you're going to simply deliver information to students during class or lecture to them, asking students to read that material before class is unnecessary because you are simply repeating the material. But if you're going to show them how to apply and use the information, then having them prepare makes more sense. There needs to be a reason. A. Accountability. Students need to be accountable for their preparation. Our students are responsible and are adults, but many times pressures and graded assignments may make them prioritize things for a grade over things like preparing for class. Increasing accountability is therefore necessary to help them prioritize. This can be in the form of quizzes, turning in homework or outline, or submitting cases. These can all be done online or in class. These can be for a simple check of it being done or for low-stakes grades. Again, A for accountability. Interaction. Do things to help students interact with the material prior to coming to class. This is also related to accountability. For example, just-in-time teaching strategies ask students to submit answers to cases prior to class. This forces students to interact with the material and engage with it. Research shows this increases reading in students and reduces cramming prior to exams. So, incorporate activities outside of class that allow students to interact with the material. Student-friendly. Remember that students are novices. They need to understand the basic jargon to really understand higher level material. Textbooks are written by experts, not necessarily for the novice. They are often written at grade levels above the student's level. Students like lecture because you, the instructor, take a bunch of information and distill it down to the really important points, and you put it in an understandable language. So use material that is student-friendly, and this may require you making your own materials. This could be note sets, reading materials, videos, or referring them to material on the web. S. Student-friendly. Efficient. Time is of the essence. If students are going to prepare prior to class, whatever they are using to prepare needs to be efficient. Students are willing to spend around 1 hour outside of class preparing for every 1 hour in class. We read faster than we speak, so reading may be quicker and more efficient. If we read an average of 200 words per minute, that's 12,000 words that can be read in an hour, or about 20 pages of typed text, or 12 pages within a standard textbook. However, that's just time to read, not study. So material might have to be much shorter because we know that students will spend 2 to 3 times longer beyond just reading to actually study the material. Here are some additional tips. Use students to help provide feedback for what is working for them and what are areas for improvement. They will be honest on how much they value the pre-class assignments and how well those materials align with classroom activity. So to get students to prepare, first have a reason, then hold them accountable. Build in interaction with the material and make the material student-friendly and efficient. In the handout are more guidelines on how to develop pre-class materials. This concludes our time for 5-Minute University. After completing a short survey on the next page, you can access the handout full of great resources to get you started with getting students to prepare in your classroom.